Hey, my name's Kyle Barker with Klever Boy Holdings Company. First off, I want to just say thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I know everybody's busy. You've got things to do. Your time's very valuable. So I appreciate you investing that time, not only to learn about AI, which we'll talk about, but also what we're doing with AI at Klever Boy for other businesses like yours, maybe nothing like yours. What I want to do is make sure that the time that you have invested, even if this is all we ever talk, hopefully it's not, but if it is, I hope you get a return on that time. So before we get into like the hype around AI and what it can do for business, it's already everywhere on a personal level. When you Google something, when you watch Netflix, when you're on social media, the algorithms, it's really all around us. Siri in your phone, Alexa at your home. But on the business side, it really hasn't integrated itself as much as it is starting to. And there's a reason for that. The technology, I started with AI in 2017. Technology was not that great. And we kind of just put it on the back burner for a while and then picked it back up once, Chat GPT and everything like that gained some popularity. The technology itself started to advance. And then we started thinking, hey, well, how can we use this technology in business? So for us to understand how AI can help business, we first have to understand business. So let's just kind of boil it down and get on the same page with that first, and then peel back the layers on AI. With every business, no matter whatever the business is, every business is different, and everybody might have different ways to do business, even if you're doing the same thing. But at the core, there's a formula for business, that equals success. And it's really a simplified version of it is to adaptively sell as much as you can, make as much money as possible for as little cost as possible. If you get that right, no matter what the business is, you're going to be successful. Now, there's different ways to do that, and there's a lot of gurus and a lot of things, like Gary Vee. We talk about marketing and using social media and using video and putting out content. That's just trying to sell as much as you can. Now, he wouldn't say go out and sell it, but build the value in yourself, build the content, and then that'll help you in the long run become an authority and then be able to sell as much as you can. And then you have different ways of cost, right? I'm not saying make cheap products or sell, cheap service or something like that. What I'm saying is the key word there is as you can, right? So your level of quality, your level of service, whatever it may be, and then how cheaply can I do it to that level? That's your cost, right? Overhead, how many employees it's going to take to do it. If you get more productivity from employees, it doesn't make the quality go down, but you're getting a better return because your cost is lower, right? You get more productivity. All right, so if we agree that that's a successful formula for business, then the next step is how do we do that, right? Like how do we sell as much as possible for as little as possible? Let's paint a picture in our mind. So imagine that you have your business and you have a system in place that can go out and find your ideal client, right? Based on what you have had as clients or what your ideal client is. And it can target that person without you ever knowing them. And it can warm them up. It can nurture them. It can build the relationship with them. Once that person is ready to buy, it can connect them to you. And then you can come in and close the deal. If you had that system, would you be able to sell more? Would you be able to do more? Let's take it a step further. So you've got this system out there that's effectively getting you your target clients. It's warming them up for you, and it's bringing them to you when they're ready to buy, right? So you've got that system in place. Now, imagine that very system that is bringing in these sales is also reducing your costs at the same time. I mean, that would be amazing, right? I think every business owner would jump on that, right? Like that sounds perfect. It sounds great. And if you want to cap it off, because this system is happening without you really having to do anything, once it's set up, it's just running. So the third thing that it's going to do, it's going to free up your time. You spend your days as a business owner doing multiple roles, right? You've got the things you have to do to work on your business. And then if you don't have the right amount of employees or the right processes, things like that, then you're going to spend your time working in your business. So you have on your business and in your business. And a lot of times business owners get caught up, and I'm sure you've heard this, get caught up working in their business, where they spend every day fulfilling orders, going out and doing the work themselves, whatever it may be. They're working in their business. So they are how things get fulfilled and completed for the clients. And then there's the working on your business. How am I going to grow this? What's our budget look like? Paying the taxes even, and the bigger vision, and what's next for the company. And that's working on your business. A lot of business owners get caught working in their business because of time. There's a lot of people counting on them, a lot of things that they have to do. The quality's not as good if they're not there, things like that, right? So they get caught in working in their business, and it never can scale and grow. If it's generating the sales and it's lowering your cost, it's going to free up your time to be able to go out, and you can use it on your business if you need to, want to. But you can also become the parent you want to be at all the kids' ball games. You can be a supportive spouse. Maybe your spouse is, traveling or whatever, and you want to be able to go with them. You can do that now. Maybe you're not married. Maybe you don't have kids, and you just want to be a good friend, be able to travel more with your friends, do more stuff, just enjoy life, right? At the end of the day, you can make all the money you want, but if you don't have the time and the people to use that money to enjoy life, there's really no point. I get that just sounds too good to be true, right? If that system exists and I can plug and play into my business, get more sales, lower my costs, and free up my time, and it's an affordable price, like I'm in, right? I get where you would be skeptical. You don't know me. We've never met. You don't know me, like my grandma used to say, from Adam's house cat, right? And I've invested in stuff too before that didn't work out. So I get it 100%. That's a valid reason to be skeptical, but hear me out. I think that's a good place for us to start, right? So what I want to do real quick is give you some stats, some numbers, right? Numbers never lie. So some numbers that are from experts. So let's look at some of the numbers. I want to start with MIT. They did a survey and a study, and it came back that 9 out of 10 business owners feel like AI gives them a competitive advantage. So I want to start there. 9 out of 10, that's 90% of the people that they talked to that were business owners, feel like AI can give them a competitive edge. Now that stat alone is great, but it doesn't really hit those 3 points, right? It can give me a competitive edge, but what is that competitive edge? So let's go over to Forbes. Forbes reports that 93% of business owners agree that AI can reduce costs and improve profitability. Well, that's one of the points, right? Reducing costs and improving profitability. Now, improving profitability doesn't mean sales, right? So I get that. So we're missing sales still, but it does say 93. That's a big number. I don't know that I have ever seen a stat where that high of a percentage agree on something. So 93% of business owners, according to Forbes, agree that AI can reduce costs and improve profitability. Maybe one of the reasons they feel that way is because Netflix has reported that they saved $1 billion from machine learning, using machine learning in their operations. They've saved, not earned, not sold, not made. They have saved $1 billion for using machine learning, which is a subset of AI. And although that those two things talk about improving profitability and reducing costs, neither one of them really talk about sales, right? So for the sales aspect, we're going to go over to the authority in that space, which is Salesforce.com. So Salesforce.com says that the average salesperson is only actively selling for 28% of their working day on average. So salespeople are only selling for 28% of the time that they're working. Okay? That's a pretty rough stat. That means 72% of the working day on average is not being used to sell something by salespeople. Now you may be like, well, they're doing this, doing that. Look, I get that, but what scares me even more is this is just talking about salespeople, the people that are hired just to sell, not business owners. So business owners that are doing dual or triple roles and they're trying to sell, fulfill, run their business, they're trying to do all these things. If a salesperson is only actively selling for 28% of their working day, and that's all they're supposed to be doing, how much time do you think a business owner is actually selling? But we'll take the sales number, the salesperson number, and say that's business owner as well. You're selling for 28% of your day. That leaves 72% of the day that nothing is being sold. That is a huge number. A huge number. That's a lot of time. And look, you can make more money. You can't make more time. So 72% every day not selling something is creating a huge gap in what you would be able to earn as a business. The AI, on the other hand, is selling 100% of the time, right? There's nothing, it doesn't get demotivated, doesn't get sick, doesn't need days off. Even during the day, it doesn't need side chat. It doesn't need, or water cooler talk. It doesn't need anything. It doesn't need a lunch break. Like, it is selling. But let's add a little more to that. Not only does it sell 100% of the time during an 8-hour workday or 10-hour workday, it also has 24/7 work days. So now is it not just filling the 72% gap, it's adding on an additional whatever for the 24/7. That is a huge change. 28% of a working day being your sales time to 100% of your working day, and then additional days or hours in the day when it's working on your social media making sales, when it's sending out emails, when it's responding to texts, when it's taking phone calls, it's still selling. There's a stat, I'm not going to quote it because I don't have it in front of me, but you'd be surprised, you can look it up, how many people buy stuff at 2 a.m. in the morning. You may think, and I did too, that, okay, yeah, it's selling more of the time, but it's a computer, right? The 28% of the time that my human sales rep is selling, it's converting better, right? Like it's killing it. Because it can develop relationships and, they can read body language and and I get all that. All of that makes sense. But in April of 2024, EPFL in Switzerland did a study. And then this study says that it's 82% more persuasive than a human is. Now, what this doesn't mean, this does not mean go out and fire all your salespeople. It's not an either or kind of solution. Like, AI is not that kind of tool. Alex Hormozy, if you don't know who that is, definitely take a minute, look him up, learn about him, his story, what he's went through, where he's at now. But what he said about AI is this: you will not be replaced by AI, but you will be replaced by someone that uses AI better than you do. So if we take that, right, that AI is not going to take your job, but somebody with AI that knows how to use it better than you will. How do we use it better? That becomes the question. If we don't be able to replace, we want to future-proof our business. How do we make sure we're using AI to its max? What I believe is that you pair it with the human, right? Like, so you don't fire your salespeople, you pair it with. And let me explain the pairing concept. AI is not like a tool that's an either or. It's not you need a screwdriver or you need a hammer, right? You're either doing a nail or a screw, right? You need an either or according to what you're doing. That's not AI. AI is more like horse or car, okay? The horse was, of course, the main means of transportation way back in the day. As old as I may look, that was before my time. But it was the main way that people traveled. Now, cars are the main way people travel, But horses didn't cease to exist. They transitioned. And where we use horses now is where they're best at. And that's working on a farm, riding through the trails, at a rodeo. And that is when things are working together. You just go where you're better at. So you don't have to fire all your salespeople. But what you want to do is use AI with your salespeople. And what that allows you to do, and it's really cool, is that it frees up your salespeople's time for them to sell more. So that 28% can actually go up a lot because they don't have to prospect. They don't have to cold call. They don't have to warm up leads. They don't have to end an appointment because they got a new lead in and they need to respond within 5 minutes because you're 400% more likely to close it. So AI can fill that gap. AI can respond to the lead. AI can nurture the lead. AI can get the lead qualified. AI can even book the lead when it's ready to buy. And your salespeople can spend the time with that potential client and customer and build the relationship, using empathy and really connecting, reading that body language, overcoming the objections in a humane way, finding the pain point, working through it with the client, and then selling them. That is the beauty of when you pair AI with who you have. Now, the way it can reduce cost is because you don't have to go out and hire more salespeople or more appointment setters or more whatever it may be, on an administrative level to manage that. AI can handle that. And your salespeople can be selling more and converting those leads. If you don't have a sales team at all, then you would use AI for a lot, really. You would use it to get the lead, respond to the lead, warm up the lead, book the lead, and eventually AI will be there where it can convert the lead on a call or an appointment. But currently, I would recommend you hopping on the call and closing it. That's coming. But right now, you can use them together and get the best of both worlds. All right, enough on sales. The last thing I said with AI, remember, you make more sales consistently, lower your cost, and the third thing I said was save time. So let's see the numbers from the experts on time saving with AI. We're going to start with the lowest one first, and then we'll work our way. So Venturely.io reports AI yields a 25% time saving on administrative tasks. So administrative tasks being timekeeping, bookkeeping, all those kind of things, right? Now, you still want that human interaction. That's why it's a lower number, 25%, because these are very important reports, analytics, things like that you really want to touch, feel, make sure they're right, verify everything. So it's going to save you some time on that. All right, but let's keep going. So we go back to Forbes.com, and in that same report where they said 93% of business owners believe that AI can save you cost and improve profitability, they also reported that AI saves 40% of time in decision making. Now let's talk about that for a second. 40% of time in decision making. There's really two benefits to this. One, the time saving, right? That's 40% less time. You can act quicker. You can be more nimble. Remember that formula was adaptively sell more at a lower cost, right? So you can adapt quicker because you have the data, you have the research, you can see what competitors are doing very quickly with AI. You can make a decision better because of the research piece. AI can gather that information and put it together in a way to help you make a decision very quickly. Okay, it's not making the decision for you. It's helping you make that decision quicker so it saves your time to use it somewhere else. All right, but let's keep going. So on the creative side, medium.com says that AI frees up 80% of the time needed for creative writing. All right, so creative writing, I mean, you're talking about blogs, right, for SEO or just blogs themselves. But you're also talking about ad copy. You're talking about social media posts, the captions. And it's saying, hey, look, AI can do 80% of that. I mean, it's going to take off almost all of it on the creative side. It can understand your business and it can do the creative side for you. Probably better than you can if you believe the study of 82% more persuasive. It can understand your target market, your ideal client, your demographic, whatever you want to call it. It can understand that. It can understand your competitors. It can see the gap, and it can fill that with creative copy. Now, I would say this number is probably pretty low when you think about the fact that it can also create images. It can create video now pretty consistently for social media posts or content, things like that. We even have an AI clone that responds to emails, right? It takes their name, what they were looking for, and it takes my image, that I've trained it on, and my voice, and it will respond to them in a video email saying, hey, thanks for reaching out, that kind of thing. So it's going to knock out a lot of the time that you spend on creativity. So I would say 80% is probably a conservative number. It's probably higher than that when you take into account the creating social media posts, posting it for you, replying to comments, working Messenger. You can have AI in your inbox to handle messages that come in. You can have it automatically send messages when somebody comments a specific word on a post or an ad. You can run ads right to your Messenger and have AI talk to the lead. So I think 80% is probably pretty low on that, honestly, even though it's a high number. I feel like that's conservative, personally. But this one may shock you, this last one. So this last one says, legal.io reported that AI can save 45% of working hours used today. That's almost half of every working day that AI can give you back that time. Again, what you do with the time, that's up to you. Whether you invest that in your life and your family, or you invest it back into your business, it doesn't matter. Time is the one thing you can't get more of unless you have something that frees up your time. So those are the numbers about AI from the experts, not from me. As far as me, I grew up on a farm in Alabama. We had 500 cows, a landline phone, TV with 6 channels on it, no video games, nothing like that. I guess what I'm saying by that is, if I grew up on a farm in Alabama and I'm this invested into AI and I'm talking to you about AI, if I am talking to you about that, the stuff I grew up with, we use things today. We use things every day today that as a kid, they were on Star Trek, right? I mean, it blows my mind what a phone can do, right? Like, that's just not something I thought would happen in my lifetime. And if somebody like me is talking to you about the importance of AI, you can just bet that the generations below me are they've been raised in technology, are going to be using AI to generate revenue. And again, like Alex said, you're not going to be replaced by AI, but you'll be replaced by someone who can use AI better than you can. And this younger generation is going to know everything about AI. They are going to be raised in AI. It's just important to take it serious. What I say with AI is this: the only thing you can't do with AI is ignore it. Like, you can make pictures, you can do, I mean, it's amazing what all you can do with it. The only thing you really can't do is just ignore it and act like it's not going to bother you. It's not going to affect your business. It's not going to affect your life. You can avoid it. Like, you can't do that. So here's my recommendation: don't ignore it. Don't avoid it. Partner with it. Use AI to be the tool that it's created to be, to help you make more sales, reduce your costs for your business, and to free up your time. Those 3 things are worth every second that you can use AI for. Because time's just not something you can get more of. Like, if it just freed up your time, it would be worth it. If it just made you more sales and you got your money back plus a bunch in return, it would be worth it. If it just lowered your costs and increased your profitability on the sales you currently make, it would be worth it. But the fact that AI, according to the experts, can do all 3 things, and it will continue to improve, This is not the final AI that all of us will be able to use in my lifetime. It moves very quickly. AI changes every day. Even the stuff that we do, we are currently and always every day trying to stay at the cutting edge of it, learn it, create it, do something different with it, go outside of the box with it. And there will be tons of people doing that. And this technology will continue to increase. So you just can't ignore it and you can't avoid it. So if you're still here, I appreciate that. First off, we talked about a lot of stuff, but the biggest thing I hope is that you feel like it was a good investment of your time, because as you can tell from watching this, I'm a big advocate of making the most of your time. And I feel like this is so important that I wanted to take the time to make this video, drive as many people to it as I could so that they could see it and hopefully impact their lives in a positive way. And they can try to get the most out of AI to better their life, make more money, free up their time, lower their costs, and compete. So if that's all you get from this and you use somebody else's AI, you learn it yourself, whatever it may be, it was worth it. Like that's the big thing is I want to make sure that you understand the importance of it and what it can be used for. So I appreciate you watching it. I appreciate you coming by and visiting, spending some time. And hopefully we'll get to know each other at some point. If you are interested in, learning how we use AI specifically for different business types, then below this video, there's 3 different choices. You can start with local if you're more of a retail store, home-based services, medical, stuff like that, where you're community-based, relationship-based. Like we design something specifically for local business. And then over in the middle is going to be online business. So that's for people that can service remotely, digital marketers, coaches. If you have a course, if you sell stuff, e-com, right? Like, so if you're online and you can work with people all over the place, we have a different AI for that. And you can click that button and learn a little bit more about that. And then the third one is where we are really innovative. It's the automotive industry. And I spent a lot of time in the automotive industry. I was a sales manager at Cadillac when I left. That was kind of the highest it ever got for me. Did finance, did the BDC and the internet. I was a salesperson for a while, worked at different brands, but I saw a gap in the automotive industry. And that's actually what got me into it in 2017, was kind of trying to understand how AI can be used for that. And it just wasn't ready yet. But now that it is, we've got some really cool stuff that we do for the automotive side. And if you're in that industry, if you're a dealer or a salesperson or owner of a automotive industry business, even like an oil change, stuff like that, it's really cool. You should definitely check out the automotive side and kind of see what we got going on over there. It's really innovative. You can also skip all that, schedule a call, and we can hop on a call and talk about your business specifically, and then let you know about the different stuff. But I will tell you this, that the solutions we have are very, very affordable. That's like the driving point behind it, is to lower costs, increase the sales, and free up your time. So we couldn't make it very expensive for it to be lower in cost. So the way it's priced right now is super affordable. And honestly, any business, even a startup, could definitely afford what we've got it priced at, especially when you look at those 3 things, along with a lot more that we've included in there to save you on maybe stuff you're already paying for. So it'll reduce the cost even more for you. So if you're interested, definitely take a look at those. And then reach out. Any questions you have, there's going to be a chat. That's AI. You could talk to it, ask it questions. You can schedule a call, shoot us an email. All that's on this page. But if you want to learn about your business specifically, just choose one of those. And I'll see you on the other side. Thanks.